Yo, yo, yo. What am I doing? Get a chance to talk to your neighbor. Okay. Now I just got to check. Yeah, all is good in the hood. Um, this is Volothan Modulus Tautology. We'll get more into that. Um, the preteen is in the neighborhood. He's around the corner at his friend's house, and they are doing their Dungeons and Dragons thing. So he's going to come back with wild stories of how his friend summoned Shrek to save the day. You know, what am I supposed to do? I decided to run with the same backdrop because we still don't understand the difference between a contradiction and indeterminate in the tautology. I am the tautological epistemologist. I used to call myself the tautologist. Right? But tautology is seeking truth within a logical understanding of life, I guess. But I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to say peace, compassion, unity comes from my love of God and share my culture. I spell it with a K. Thanks to the teacher, but it's actually teachers that we call the legends. From Rakim the KRS One, it includes Big Daddy Kane, Kool G Rap, EPMD, Dougie Fresh Slick Rick, and a whole host of other great MCs. Yes, I don't necessarily put Chuck D, LL Cool J, Run DMC, Melly Mel, Curtis Blow on the same list, but I do, they legends, right? I chose those five purposely because they still go on tour together, and I mean that's a lineup for you, right? Start the show off with Rakim, ended with Boogie Down Productions. You can't go wrong. And most of them are Generation X. In fact, I think they all are Generation X. And it is our turn to take the leadership. Today's Malcolm X's birthday, so paying homage to him. That's a different tier of hip hop. When I'm talking about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Kwame Ture, and Muhammad Ali, I'm talking about prophets. The great Chuck D once said, Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you ought to listen to, right? When you're dealing with the greatest generation, but silent generation, and the baby boomers, you're dealing with prophets, So I promised to share this yesterday, so I'm gonna start off from the door, right? I promised to share this yesterday. This is the Breakfast Club, the Bernie Sanders interview, right?
Let me put more support into the black bank.
I go over it. This was 2020 when he was running for president against Biden. So he was the first one to come on the show and catch the fire from, I think, Generation Y. Let me see how old Charlemagne is. He might be. He's a Gen Xer, but he's probably a young Gen Xer. Yes. Answer my pops. You know what I mean? Because we got to take try to be healthy, right? So let me see if I can. But yeah, I'm good. I could be better, but I'm all right. The young boy, he'll be back, and we'll do a little light dinner together, and he wants to stream again, so I probably say and watch him play some more Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that. And so I'll be back for my. So he's 78. He's a Gen Xer. He's 45. You know, he's my young boy. You know, I'm 71. And I get it. No, age don't. Yes, it does. Right? What generation you are? Like I give him respect of that, but I call him Charlemagne the Dog. Because he gets the pressure of yes, you can see his the Breakfast Club gets has 5 million subscribers. He asked the question, right? The question really isn't is Joe Biden the evil one? That's not for us to determine, right? Just the same with Trump. You know, is Trump is Donald Trump the evil one? That's not for us to determine, right? Maybe. That's why I answer maybe. Right? When you go, yes, he is the evil one, and then everything that you say afterwards is actually the evil. That's the part that we're not really understanding. That's why I really don't rather not talk about politics because you're dealing with a bunch of evil people talking their evilness, right? I'd rather talk about Rakim starting off with knowledge will begin until I finish this song because the rhyme gets rougher as the rhyme goes on. Your sweat is your step about to get hype, or should you just listen to the man on the mic? You're physically in this with me, but how could you tell if it's meant to be hip hop if you're not mentally as well? As you see, I'm getting better, right? You got to practice it. You got to practice the hip hop. You know what I mean? The more you practice it, the better your flow gets. You can't just grab that microphone and just start spitting and think you can spit like Raquel. Now you got to listen to it over and over again. You got to practice it in the mirror. Your cadences, your pronunciation. Same with doing this. Like that's the only reason I'm just practicing right now. But I'm gonna share this a little bit with you, and I'm really not going to say too much about it, right? Because it is a simple question, right? Is Joe Biden the evil one? Maybe. But what comes out of his mouth isn't good, right? Is Bernie Sanders the evil one? Maybe. I want to say no, right? Because he walked with Martin Luther King, right? He marched with King. But then it's, well, how did you feel about Malcolm, right? Are you the one that came in between Malcolm and Martin? Right? Because that's what white supremacy did. It came in between our great prophets. And that's why we, both of them say, yo, ballot, Malcolm X started with ballot or bullet. That's what started we got to separate. Right? We got to separate because we was already kind of separated. Right? I shared right underneath this page we had the Negro Baseball League. We had our own baseball league. But as soon as we went over to the major leagues, right? The quote unquote major leagues, all of our players went over there, right? The same thing happened with the ABA and the NBA. Was the ABA black owned? No, but that's where Dr. J and Moses Malone shine. Yeah, they was able to come to Philly eventually and win the championship for my city. But at the same time, it was that completely destroyed that league. And that's what Ice Cube is actually complaining about because he's like, I do a different 3-on-3 Big Three league. And the NBA is not helping me to build my league. Instead, they are ciphering away from my company. They're not helping, right? Same thing's happening in the Back family. It's a transgender war going on. It's a make a war between the man and the woman, the father and the mother, right? And that'll destroy the black community. And that's what they're doing. And then they want to say, no, you need to look in the mirror and like, no. Because the question is simple. Should we get some reparations? Do the country owe us cash? And that's when they get to stuttering. That's when the evil one starts talking, right? They'll say no, right? No. And then they start explaining themselves. And that's when the evil one reveals his true identity, right? Is it the same way with yes? I guess so. Yes. Then the evil one, right? What do you need it for? Well, to feed the babies, right? I don't need it for a new car, well, even though I need a car, right? I need a new car, right? But, I don't need a new house, but I do need to repair my house to make it anew, right? These are the issues that we facing. And I have to repeat and remind y'all, because a lot of y'all want to say no and then sound just like Bernie, and that's all the evil one, because we have to help everyone. It has to be diversity, inclusion, and equity, right? When it's a bunch of boys getting in a circle and playing with marbles, and it's, they see one girl with them and she wants to play marbles, they usually let her play marbles. But if it's two other girls or more girls, like it's too many people, why don't we do 2 games of marbles? Now, who's the leader? Who decides who plays in what group and what ratio should we have? That's the issue that we have going on. Because they say they're going to help, but as soon as we say, yo, we need this kind of help right here, we need to make the family structure stronger. Well, who's in charge? Fatherhood or motherhood? Right? That's when the evil one comes in. When we know what God told us, we know what God tells us, right? Or they give us P. Diddy. And I'm not using P. Diddy to go viral.
Absolutely. I feel like that could help Black entrepreneurs.
And not only black
homeowners as well.
And black homeowners, but black business in this sense.
Correct.
In this sense. Unemployment now is quote unquote relatively low. But you go to African American communities and the youth unemployment rate is still unbelievably high. And you tell me, please tell me, what happens if you're a kid who drops out of high school who has no money?
You're probably going to turn into a life account.
You got it. Yeah. What a waste.
Now, here's where he's a hypocrite, is when at the time he's talking about, yes, I was the manager of the store. Yes, I did everything I could to find a young black male supervisor. Right? I had 2 young black, let's say rainbow supervisors. One of them was stealing cash from the right? From the lottery machine. Another one was not really into working. Like, are we right? They don't empower black men to seek out young black men to take them under their wings. That's how desegregation works. Because I experience when I go out there now as being the person trying to get on. So yes, I meet black men in positions of manager positions. Yes, they want me to work with them, but there is powers that be that's like, no, 2 black men can't work together. They too buddy, and they're separating us. That's how desegregation works.
What a waste. So, we got to invest in those things. We're invest in housing. A lot of people in the African American community not making a lot of money, spending 50% of their income in housing, childcare.
We got to change that. From the smallest things, from car insurance is more expensive in the African American area.
I know that.
daycare is more expensive a lot of times in the African American area, but a lot of times we can't get loans. Like they will not give African American, Black people, and minorities loans. That's the
We
thing.
met with some African American small business people in, I think, Las Vegas, Nevada, actually. And that's exactly what they were saying.
So what about HBCUs?
Absolutely.
Very big for our community.
It is
And
very
support
big.
is very big.
It is very big.
I want to go back, piggyback on that child care one, because we see a situation where, you know, a woman has multiple kids, and right now we're under diversity, inclusion, and equity, right? So it is a little harder for Black men to find employment. So why aren't they daycare workers or child care workers, right? Like I have friends that do quote unquote, you know, what used to be considered women's jobs, right? And they successful at doing it. And then I shot props to them, shout out, good job, good work. I know you work hard, right? But we don't see that in the child care aspect, right? Like I say, I dabbled in foster care, but it was no. I'm you know we're you know I keep going. I don't want to.
I don't know the numbers, but as you know, a significant number of African American teachers, academics, professionals come out of the HBCU system, and they do a great job, and they're underfunded. So when I talk about making most of the, as I recall, most of the HBCUs are public institutions. Some are not, but we are going to pay a lot of attention to them.
Now, why does it seem like this week you've been kind of dodging the reparations question? The Senator Harris and Senator Warren have both kind of spoken out and said that they agree with some form of reparations.
Well, the question is, what do we? I'm not dodging the question. The question is, what do we mean by reparations? I mean, it seems to be a lot of people doing a lot of different things. To my mind, it means that we have to deal with the fact that there is enormous disparity between the Black community and the white community, and that issue has got to be addressed. And I've indicated to you some of the ways that I think it should be addressed.
Well, I think they mean some type of economic empowerment to the African descendants of slaves.
But what does that mean, economic empowerment? I just talked about the fact that I would do my best to change the banking system to make sure that we end racism, that we pay attention to distressed communities, that people get the loans they need to make the investments they need.
It's about straight cash payouts.
No.
How much you want,
You agree
Sean?
with that? Why don't you agree with that?
Well, first of all, you mean just a check to every African American?
Yes.
Well, and there's a check to every Native American who were, they wiped out when the settlers first came here. I think the way we go forward is
Lie, right? The ones that were wiped out, that's a lie. They weren't wiped out. Most of their lineage is the African Americans.
build America together. There are distressed communities, white communities, there are distressed Latino communities. Right now, what you have is a government owned and controlled by big money interests who worries about Wall Street and the drug companies. We're going to change that. And we're going to pay attention to the needs of working families and low-income families in this country in a way that you have never seen.
But this government has also systemically oppressed us in a way that they haven't oppressed other communities through slavery, through segregation, now mass incarceration. And I think it should be something done specifically for African Americans.
Well, and all of those issues, all right, we are going to deal with mass incarceration. And we're going to invest. I think at the end of the day, if we end the discrimination that exists in financial services, in healthcare, in education, if we guarantee healthcare to all people, if we, and we're working on a particular program, make sure that every person in this country has a job, because there's enough work to be done dealing with climate change, dealing with our crumbling infrastructure, I would suggest to you that not only the African American community, but every community will be a hell of a lot better off than they are today.
Every community, that's that diversity, equity, and inclusion. Right. I mean, I you know, and it's, and we in response have a issue because as soon as I'm out here saying right? Black people needing help, right? Or we ask for help. It's that same response. You got to help yourself. Like America's not going to help you. All right, so why should we vote for you? You know? Why should we vote for you? And let me share one more, and then I'm done with this. I'm done with this blatant. Right? Because he just admitted that Kamala said, yeah, they should get a check, right? That we should get a check. And they helped Black women, secure these jobs. I see them all the time, right? They, and these are hard jobs. Like I ain't even on the front, like, you know what I mean? This is the Black Authority. As you can see, the difference. 156,000 subscribers. He's been doing it, this YouTube, for years now, right? I've been paying attention to his channel. Jason Black, that's his alias, 10-1. But just using the term Black isn't good for ratings and this current, society, right? So let's see here. Play a little bit of Jason Black. I guess fair use, right? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, right? So and then I'm done with politics. I'm going back to video games after that. This right here, I just want to record this and sort of upload it and be like, it's not just me, right? And I think they lying about the percentages of Black men that feel this way, because when I'm out there talking the streets and talking to my brothers, my Black friends, and Black men in general, we all under the same kind of like, you know what I mean? We go to these jobs, right? It's like we're pitted against Black women. Like we just trying to work together with them, right? They're asking us to move tons of whatever, right? Physical jobs. And it's boom. And then it's, if you go to help a woman, and then it's, you're considered harassment, right? Like it is that backwards out here. And they are throwing hints back and forth between each other, right? So it's like, and now we're calling the judgment of who's the one being, to a court system, to a Department of Justice that's even more corrupt than, geez.
If she didn't sit here and say, well, concerned about it over there. Very, very concerned about it. Now, what I want to do here.
Y'all got to check out Jason Black. He's a real good dude. He's funny.
And Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, their little show. And they were talking about Detroit. I'm talking to some fellas from New Era Detroit.
Check out DeAndre Detroit.
But they were talking to them there in Detroit.
I shared him the other day too.
I want you to hear what they had to say. They had Tremaine Lee. They had Tremaine Lee go and talk to folks. So, all right, that's what it is there. I want you to hear what they had to say.
Of Detroit's most disinvested communities, a kind of hood first response team, but they feel invisible to those at the height of political power.
we are one of the leading organizers on the ground in the city of Detroit. Literally, the closest that you're gonna get to Black people in this city. We haven't heard anything from a Democrat or a Republican.
Men like them in communities like theirs could very well determine who is sent to the White House in 2024, with both Democrats and Republicans vying for their attention.
I got indicted a second time.
What we have to understand about the debate also, right? You're going to have Trump, Biden, and the moderator, right? In a true fight fashion, it should be Trump, Biden, and 3 judges. That's something I want y'all to think about.
A third time and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the Black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against.
Black men have not benefited proportionate to other populations in terms of economic opportunity and economic health, much less wealth creation.
Wow. Did you hear that?
I got to get sound effects for my show.
Now, did you hear that? Well, I'll be damned, Kamala Harris, after all these years, and all these interviews and every damn thing else and dancing the damn Dougie with them weird ass suits she wears, well, I'll be damned if she didn't sit here and say, well, you know, we haven't done enough for Black men in terms of economics and wealth creation. Oh, so you did know what we wanted all this time. You did know what the issue is all this time. You did know that this was what we've been talking about all this time. You know, the same stuff you go and talk to your community, the Asian community about. Your community, the Asian community. Yeah, you know what you talk about over there. Well, take a look, everyone. Now that they got her ass in a sling, well, all of a sudden, without missing a beat, she can immediately tell you, oh yeah, it's about economics and wealth generation. Words ain't come out of her mouth. All these years and whatnot, words that never came out of her mouth.
I'm
Well,
supposed to
now,
know,
isn't
yeah.
this-
All right, Black. I hear you, fam. You know what I mean? And, you know, y'all don't hear us, right? I can repeat it 100 million times, right? It's yo. I'm. You know what I mean? Yeah, my son will be here soon. I think we're gonna do chicken cheese steaks. You know what I mean? I'm gonna chop up the chicken real good, and you know what I mean. I'm gonna hook it up, right? It's not about you know what I mean. And we'll go over some things. They sent me a letter saying that he's going to receive a award next Tuesday for academics, and they would like for me to be there. So it's like cool, you know, like. But like I said, he'll come home from school. He'd be over there doing his little vocabulary or whatever, and I'm sitting there listening to him. And yes, you need parental. Hey, what was that word again? You know, and you know, just to help reinforce it just a little bit. That's all you got to do. That's the difference between a B+ and an A+. It's communicating with your children because you learn something from your children. All right, when he was 5, 6 years old, he came home and said, I said, son, we were making little race cars for the Cub Scouts, and we threw little minion stickers on. I said, son, look, we made a minion mobile. And he was like, Daddy, that's an alliteration. And I was like, what? Wait. I had to look up alliteration. Like, I don't know. Like, I got to go back to school, right? Are you smarter than a 4th grader? A lot of y'all aren't. I'm just keeping it 100. Right? Y'all need to go back to school. And that's what Hip Hop Temple is. That's a school. All that I don't want to learn, especially from the children, that's a fool. Yeah, I gotta give credit to Karis One for that bar. And you know, I spit a little Rakim earlier, and these are the things that we practice So when he was 5, 4, 5, 6, he knew Rakim early. He knew music makes mellow, maintain to make melodies for MCs, motivate the breaks. As an alliteration, being what a hip hop celebration is. It's, we're going to have a cookout. You know what I mean? Come through. Don't worry about music. I got the music, right? I got the burgers. If y'all want to bring some beer. That's about, you know what I mean? I don't really drink like that no more. You know what I mean? But bring a case or whatever for your enjoyment and to share or whatever, right? And we can throw down. But don't invite P. Diddy. Right? Because I might tell you to go on. I don't care if y'all, you know what I mean? We got 10K. Like, I ain't wasting my time, man. Why we bringing him around my kids? Cash is meaningless, right? Just donate it and get out of here. I ain't got time for it. To hear you speak, right? I'd rather watch The Breakfast Club, but you see, I wasn't subscribed to that. I am subscribed to Black Authority. Check out his page. Help him grow. You know, he's one of the pro-black people, right? I don't use that. I don't use that pro-black, anti-black. I'm the one that points out the ignorance in using it. You know, it's. I don't consider someone that goes outside of the quote unquote black race to, you know what I mean? Because I do say, like I repeat this almost every episode, is like, yeah, if your parents are from Puerto Rico and they came to New York in 1970 and they had you in a predominantly dark-skinned neighborhood, right, in the hood, right, you are a Black American. Right? That's what you are. Now, you say you're Puerto Rican. You can go back to the quote unquote motherland, right? But your culture was, what are those kids doing down the street there? Oh, they breakdancing, right? To disco, and they flipping it in funk and reggae, right? They cutting and scratching. What is that? And we molded and created a new culture about peace, compassion, and unity. Not about deceit, hate, and fear. Right? So it's trying to get my thing back in function. No. So I don't know. I really don't know what else to really rap about. I'm done. I did all that I could. The baby boomers are going to vote for Biden again because his vote blue no matter who. Children are understanding because they see the struggles that their mothers having, right? They asking about, why you and daddy don't get along and why y'all living and, or why they, what's going on here. It's not the same as, the white families on TV, but even though they display that on the white families now on TV too, right? That's the goal. The goal is to break up the family, and that's really Trump's main kind of issue in trying to help, quote unquote, his people, which he says is Americans. So he's saying he's including Black Americans, right? So, playing a little Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas. And enjoy life a little bit. Stop that deceit, hate, and fear. Right? Bernie said it. That's what killed him, right? No cash for you. I mean, you got to be included in everybody. And I'm trying to help people understand is like that was the game plan of the Democratic Party. That's why they sent Bernie on there first. I gotta find what's her name, see if she really said yes, because that's what Charlemagne said, that Kamala said yes on there, but then they I'm sure the Democrats was like, well, that's not going to help you. Don't promise something that we're really not willing to give black people, right? That's why Ann Coulter is funny, because here she is acting like the most racist white woman on the planet to Vivek, whatever his name is. I mean, I gotta stop disrespecting him, learn his real name. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not really being mean to him. Yes, I am. Because it is, yes, when you're working out there and you're trying to be diverse and you're trying to, you know what I mean? Like I tell you, my assistant manager name was Muhammad. He was straight off of the boot, right? No, he wasn't, but he was, right? And I did everything in my power to help him become a good manager, right? They wanted me to fire him. It's either him or you, is how they do it. No, I'm supposed to help him to become a great manager. That way we can have great managers for the company. No, they wanted me to fire him. And because I refused to fire him, they fired me. They gave him the store. We all knew what was going to happen. That's when Black Lives Matter came, the women, right? The feminists, the black feminists, they came and shut him down. So to this day, he goes, yo, man, thank you. You tried to help me. You tried to warn me. I tried to help you understand, but you know what I mean? They promised you the store if you help them to get rid of me, right? And thus now they shut the whole store down. They shut the whole company went bankrupt purposely. And you're not allowed to talk about it. Oh, my bad. Oh, pardon me. We're not allowed to talk about it because it's not going to help your YouTube ratings. Right? People don't want to see you playing a video game on screen and talking about that. So they definitely don't want you talking about politics. So I say, one God. Oh, don't talk about religion, right? I had two kids stop me the other day. I can invite me to come to their church. Y'all know I gave them the love, right? and mentioned Malcolm X to them, right? Like Jesus said, I, self, Lord, and Master. We need to understand that. That's what Jesus said, right? And I don't get an amen from Christians, right? And I'm not even talking about whether he was more a darker skin tone than what they say the Roman was back then. It's we're caught between colorism, skin tones, and racism. Of what are the three? What does that triad really mean? What is really going on? I gotta stop, check the map, go back home, and I'm just driving right now. But sometimes I used to just do this in the game, just drive around and listen to some music. It's not always about murdering and killing and things like that. Like those dudes right there, they would mess with me. That's why I ain't gonna give them the chance. Keep it moving. You know what I mean? Hope Mr. C doing the same thing. It's not really like that. I know, but it is kind of like that. I know, right? They know who you are. That's why you're doing all right. Right? They don't know who you are. You got the wrong colors. Right? Colors. I ain't seen that movie in a minute. That's what I need to check out. But I ain't really into that gangster stuff anymore. I do play this game, This is San Andreas. I mean, that's about it. That's all I really wanted. I gave y'all 40 minutes. That's good, right? Yeah, I shared other people's ideas on politics. I keep telling y'all it's just a game. If y'all really want to play it, we can go over that game. The one that I have is Ideology Rush. There's way more, but it is how do you define the different isms going on. So I'm gonna try to relax a little bit, and I guess I'll rap to y'all later. The boy will be home soon, and we'll live stream again tonight, 7:00, I guess, on his channel. 6:30, I'll be back here. Might play some more of this or something. You know, I ain't gonna rob a bank or nothing like that. I just walk the hood and let y'all see how these cops really treat the Black community. That's entertaining within itself, right? Play it like a pacifist is my goal. So they don't mess with me if I'm, those dudes will. Right? In front of him. Oh, my fault. Trying to do too much. All right, this is Volathan Modulus Tautology, reminding y'all that hip hop is an American culture. It was created by the children of the 1960 Civil Rights Movement. We're not really about that murdering and killing. Those are the Latinos over there. They might be the Hispanics, but I ain't trying to find out. But y'all, we gotta start enjoying life more, man, and stop. They wear yellow. I think the other ones wear pink, actually, or some weird color. And I gotta pull out my map and find out where I'm going, because I think thought I knew I was going, but obviously I don't know these streets like I used to. I'll rap to y'all later. All right. One God, our Father, the art of time, heaven, your order, planet Earth, life.